She's an award-winning film composer. Also, she's a musician and producer. She's launched an important foundation. She's vegan. And she plays hockey with men. We're talking to Megan next.
You're tuning into the destination for TV superfan discussion, AFTERBUZZ TV. And now, let the buzz begin.
You know that song. Oh my God, I'm scared. I'm scared of big fish. Welcome to the concert experience here on AFTERBUZZ TV at AFTERBUZZTV.com. I'm your host, James Lott Jr. You can follow us on iTunes. I'm hearing this music in my brain. I'm like, oh my God, take me right back to like going to the theater to see this movie. You can follow us on iTunes. Oh my God, it's getting crazy in here. iTunes and YouTube under the concert experience. And we have a bunch of interviews on there. I do a few on there. And you can follow us on there. And this one will be on there too afterwards. But that was the Jaws theme, as many of you guys probably know already at this point. It's an iconic theme. We're going to talk about why it worked with a composer who's here. She's composed for film, TV, stage musicals, opera, and is entering her 10th season as the official composer for hockey's LA Kings. Great talk. And she also does some other stuff for other hockey teams too, but she's official for there. She also has a foundation called the Talk Foundation Project, where she records thoughts and observations from terminally ill children. We'll talk about that. And we'll talk about a couple of other upcoming projects that are coming up for her. I'm in the presence of a powerful woman making change in the world, Megan Cavallari.
Hi, it's great to be here.
Good to be. Thanks for coming.
Thank you.
So tell me why the Jaws theme works. As a composer, why does it work?
Okay, first of all, it's John Williams, and he's a genius.
Oh my God, he does everything. Oh my God, yes.
But why that works is for a lot of reasons.
Okay.
He starts low with the strings.
Okay.
And when you're scared, what happens to your heart?
It starts pounding.
And it becomes
louder, more
and
pronounced.
faster.
Yeah, faster.
So he's emulating what's going on in your body. So as that shark's coming around, you see the fin, you see the woman treading water. He's getting inside your body.
Wow.
So it's very low because the shark is low in the water.
Yeah.
And you know what's coming. So you're on the edge of your chair and you're experiencing that shark because of that music. Yeah. She's just looking a little scared and hesitant, and you're seeing before her that fin. Yeah. So your heart is beginning to race and get faster and faster. So the music is whispering in your ear what you should be feeling. And that's John Williams all the way. He's genius.
Because didn't John Williams also do Raiders of the Lost Ark too in that series?
Oh yes, he did Star Wars.
Yes, I'm thinking. So I'm thinking you're right. Now that you said it that way, I'm thinking of each of the scores right now and their stories.
Yeah.
He does kind of emulate what's going on.
Yes, he gets in the mind of the audience and what they're feeling. He gives them the cue, and he writes gorgeous melodies that stay with you, like Star Wars. You know, it's iconic.
Yeah, it is.
Iconic themes.
I never thought that before. I'm like, oh my God, because I'm like, Jaws scared the crap out of me.
Me too.
Scared the crap out of me.
I know.
Well, we're first going to start. We're going to talk about all the music that you do and all that kind of stuff, of course. But I first want to say congratulations back in April, LA Web Fest.
Yes, thank you
so much.
much.
Music scored a comedy series.
Right.
How'd that feel to win?
It's my second year in a row.
Oh, okay. She's like an old hat at this point. But still, even the second year in a row, it's like, oh my God, you won again. They picked you again.
Yeah, it's fabulous.
Yeah.
I mean, winning awards is always great.
Yeah.
And my agents, Kraft Engel, always can push up my price, which is one of the best things about winning awards.
Yeah, 'cause you're not doing it for awards, obviously. You're doing it for the love of music.
It's great. And also, I love working with that director. There's two directors.
Okay.
And Michael McDonough is one of the directors. And it's always great when you work with directors and producers and things over and over, because you learn to collaborate with them. Mm-hmm. And it's so much easier when you're doing their second film, their third film, their fourth film. Yeah. Because you know what they want, you know how they work, and you just want to collaborate and do your best work. And you don't have the fear when it's the second, third, fourth time around with them, because you know what to expect, you know what they like, and you know how to deliver it. And this particular one, we were able to use a lot of instruments. Live instruments. So they had more of a budget. So this was really, really great.
Wow, congratulations.
Thank you.
We're going to get some more of our other stuff, but there's two things I got to get out the way. One, this hockey. You play hockey with a men's league with men.
Yes, I do.
So in addition to scoring hockey, you actually play. So how did that come into your orbit?
Well, first I'm from Philly.
Okay, there you go. So hockey's East Coast, folks. East Coast, Midwest, up north. It's very
That's
big.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. I'm a Flower fan, but I'm also a huge Kings fan. And how I got to be the composer was I have been playing hockey for a while. Daryl Evans is my coach, and Andrzej Runsa is also a coach. He's from Belarus.
Okay.
Played in the Russian
Okay.
Dynamo and the NHL and in the Olympics. And so we were doing a workshop with Daryl Evans, and there was a girl who couldn't put on her equipment really well, so I helped her, and she worked for the Kings, and it turned out she was a commentator. And so anyway, I helped her put on her equipment, and I said, just stand behind me. I'm going to show you all the drills, and if a puck's coming toward you, I'll stop it. And she ended up being Heidi Andrell, who was very big in the Kings organization.
Okay.
And she, at the end, when I helped her take off her equipment, because it's like 35 pounds of equipment.
Yeah, you guys wear a lot of stuff.
Yeah,
oh my God.
you have to, because it's like hockey is like poetry, going 90 miles an hour. And she was wonderful, and she just said to me, well, what do you do for a living? She said what she did for a living, and I said, oh, I'm a film composer. And she goes, oh, the King's music, it's not very good.
Ooh, dang.
And so she said, why don't you send me your CD? And I just sent some links over and some stuff.
Wow.
And then 2 months later, they called me.
Wow.
And so I started writing for them. And that, I think the first or second season, Luc Robitaille gave me a jersey that said
fun.
Cavallari and like composer at the bottom and #1 or something. I don't know. And I was like, wow, Luc Robitaille. Oh my gosh.
Even I know that name.
So anyway, it was fabulous, and I'm just lucky they called me, and then I also worked for another hockey team as well, and so it was this little thing that I love hockey. I play hockey, and I play on a men's team because a lot of women's hockey starts at 11 at night and 12 at night, and the men get ice earlier.
Oh, interesting.
So, and I also liked playing with the men because they protect you.
Okay, that's good.
I'm 100 pounds less.
Yes, I'm chances are
Those
yes.
men that I play with, and also they're always helping you out with things.
Okay.
This is like a male thing.
Okay.
They're always like, go low, go deep, go so they're always up in my game.
Okay.
And I really like that about men.
Okay.
So it's a man. I don't know. It's a man thing that I like a lot, and I work a lot with men, being a composer and conductor.
Yeah.
And I like the whole atmosphere working with men, and so I just joined, and they always have little things for me, like, that was really good the way you skated down there, but I think if you go next time 90-degree angle, you get down there faster. So they always have something to say to me, and like it's helpful.
Yeah.
But it's tough because when they hit you, you could go flying.
Oh my God! I don't know how you do it. I don't know how you do it.
You faced your fears.
Oh my God. I went to one hockey game my entire life, and that was a few years ago. I have homes in Pittsburgh, it's the other end of Pennsylvania. I went to a Penguins game.
Big game tonight.
Big game tonight. But I went to the game I went to was when Mario Lemieux came back. He was about to retire. When he played. Because Sidney Crosby's big there, and that's a whole big thing now. So I know a little bit. I know a little tiny bit, only because I'm Pittsburgh. But I saw a hard. I don't know how I was hurting myself at the end of the game. I'm just sitting there drinking and watching the game. That's crazy.
It's not. It's a beautiful game. I mean, hockey to me is like life.
Okay.
I mean, you get banged up, you get up and play. It's impossible.
Yeah.
There's a huge guy in a net that's really small. It's invigorating. It can be scary.
Yeah.
It can be beautiful. It can be, I said, poetry at 90 miles an hour.
Wow.
And you have to have your line. And you work with your line, you protect your line's behind you. And that's the same thing about my composing. Like, I have a terrific line. I have terrific musicians, terrific directors, just terrific musicians.
Producers,
everybody.
Engineers, mixers.
And mixer, I got the great, Jason Moss is my mixer, phenomenal guy.
Okay.
Just phenomenal. Assistants, top rate.
Yeah.
I mean, all my team, all my line is fantastic.
Yeah.
And that's my advice to any composer out there who wants to be film score. Just get your line together.
Yeah.
You know, and that's probably any profession.
Yeah, it's probably,
you know, so my line is like, whether it's my hockey line
Yes.
or my composing line,
It's in order.
it's great. It's
in order.
always, you know, and hockey's always changing. You know, your defense, your offense, or this or that, you know, and you get knocked down. Get up, keep
More
playing.
power. You do it, girl. I will just watch on television. We're going to show a clip of some of her composing for the Washington Capitals, you said?
Yeah, this is the farm team for the Washington Caps, I believe.
Okay.
Their farm team.
So let's go ahead and play a little bit of that. Ooh, I like that. That's good. That's like, I'm getting into it. I'm ready. Okay, so because you play hockey and have a love for hockey, is it easier for you to compose, or is it harder, or is it neither?
I rate everything and anything.
Yeah. Okay. So, but just because hockey, it doesn't make any difference. It's just another job for you.
I love writing music. I have I've been writing since I was 15.
Wow.
When I got my first check, and I went, whoa, I can get paid for doing something I love?
Okay. You like that, don't you?
Oh, right, that's good.
Yes.
So, I mean, for this clip, this is was a commercial for the Washington Caps farm team, and they wanted tribal. And I'd worked with this director before. So Adrian just said, we want tribal, we want just tons of drums and a little like funky guitar in there. So, but how I started was when the guys are running up the steps.
Okay.
That's the tempo I picked because they're going as they run up the steps. So I started at the end.
Okay.
And so I picked the tempo based on their running up the stairs. So that way
I built to it.
Built to it. Exactly.
Oh. Do you get the footage first? And so you get the footage first. They go, okay, make this to sound good. You look at the footage, and then you start to piece it together.
I talked to the director. We spot it, you know, that sort of thing. And then I might send over. I usually always send over an idea, and then I get notes from it, and then you know.
Yeah.
With Adrian, I've worked with him before on a great movie called Sex, Guns and Drugs, and it was this great feature, and it was moving and beautiful and very dangerous and edgy kind of film. Won the Philly Film Festival. It was an incredible film. So I've worked with him before, so I know what he likes, what he doesn't like.
Shorthand.
And he's amazing. He's an amazing filmmaker. So.
No, so that was good. So that's your hockey. So I would get that out. The whole hockey thing. That was amazing. You're amazing with that. Now, before we get into more music, there's another thing that you do. You start at the Talk Foundation Project, where you record thoughts and observations from terminally ill children. Because I was reading some more stuff about you and about kind of your background with terminally ill patients and like oncology and things like that. So just about that a little bit. Tell me a little bit about that.
Okay, so how Talk Foundation started was I have a daughter, Shoshana, and she has juvenile arthritis. I'm an arthritis ambassador. And we were had some infusions and some chemo and things, and I noticed there wasn't any place like for kids to talk because the nurses and the doctors were always around and the parents were always around. And when you're in those wards, you see these kids who've gone through chemo, they don't have the hair, and it's very sad and things. And I wanted my foundation, this was about 10 years ago, to be something that I could do.
Okay.
And I know about recording.
Yeah, you do.
So,
Right.
and I have an old Mac, and
How funny.
and so I use GarageBand, a couple compressors, and a really good microphone that I have so they can hold something.
Oh, okay.
And so I rigged that all up.
Yeah.
And then so I decided then just to make it a foundation and go and help these children, and it's rewarding because they have so much to say and they're so wise for their age, and sometimes they want their family to be there, sometimes they want to talk alone, sometimes they want their friends to be there, sometimes it's what they want to say in their funeral. I mean, it can be really deep.
Oh my God.
Sometimes it's thank yous, sometimes it's a song with a guitar, sometimes
fun.
It's talking about a memory for their cancer.
So they're talking. So you have a
It is
problem.
completely like I'm there with a microphone. Now, sometimes I can, I have a form you fill out.
Okay.
So I can learn a little bit about them
Okay.
beforehand.
Okay.
So like, if they're not able to talk, I can say, hey, I see you have 2 dogs. What are their names? And then they'll go, let's start talking about their dogs and how they got the dogs and things like that. And that opens, our communication.
Yeah.
And then I give them a CD, and I have what they said on my computer.
Oh, cool.
So, yeah.
I think it's a beautiful thing. I think that's so great and gives kids a voice. Because, adults have voices, but like...
Right. And these kids are surrounded, they're like, everybody's always touching them, everybody's in their face, and it lets them speak.
Yeah, about it, I guess.
Yeah.
Are some of them ever really angry, just kind of like, ranty, I'm sure?
Some are ranting, some are crying, some are whatever, and nothing's wrong.
I like that. How do you keep it together when you're doing them?
Well, I say some prayers before I go in.
Yeah, I was going to say, how do you keep it together? It's supposed to be tough.
It's not tough.
Okay.
I feel that I'm doing a service, and I feel like even if one child or there's some things in the Talmud that says that's a Jewish prayer book that if you help one person, you help the world.
I believe that.
And so I feel that it's really everyone's duty to volunteer and do charitable gifts. So for me, it's like giving back in a dark situation. I'm bringing a little light to a dark situation. So it's very rewarding.
Yeah.
And I feel like, you know what? If it's not tough, I don't do it.
Well,
that might be the secret of who I am.
Yeah, I think we just uncovered it. I'm like, if you could do men's hockey, I'm like, then yes, you're tough. You push through it, obviously. Yeah.
Yeah, and I find it really rewarding. Like, I might have a tear on the way home when I'm driving home.
Yeah.
There's some Kleenexes there.
Yeah.
But when I get home, I go, that was really great. And
I would imagine it's also kind of, on the flip side, still uplifting and hopeful in some way,
my God,
right?
the kids have so much good stuff to say.
So I'm sure you're like, okay, I feel good. Like, you feel good.
Oh, they hug you, and they say they're so thankful that you're there.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Yeah, so it's and they sometimes they ask, I didn't say something, and they'll go back to my website, email me and say, I didn't say something, can you come back? I'm like, okay.
Yeah. Well, it's funny. I always say with kids, 'cause I have kids, I have grandkids. We were talking about before the show. I always say that kids just want to know they're being heard.
True.
They want to know they're loved and being heard. Those are 2 basic things I always feel in my experience with kids and in my life. Those are the 2 basic things all they care. Like, my grandkids don't care I'm on TV. They don't care if I do radio. They just want to Papa Jamie's to come and says I love you and play with them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like that base low. So I'm sure these kids the same. They just want to know you're giving them a chance to be heard.
Yeah.
It's one of the greatest things that anybody could do for them.
Yeah.
That's great.
Yeah.
I'm very excited about that.
Thank you.
And so now we'll go back into the music. Yeah, those are 2 things I thought were very important and part of your life. And they seem to inform all parts of your life too. And I said you're a vegan too. You mentioned that you're a vegan. It was on your bio. Much of the vegan. Have you been to Trejo's Tacos yet? It's a vegan taco place in LA.
No, I
Danny
haven't.
Trejo, the actor, started his own little vegan, vegetarian
There's so
taco
many
place.
great vegan places. I mean,
It's a
Little
lot,
Pine, Moby's place is fantastic. I mean, there's so many.
Native Foods is a chain, which has some good stuff on there too.
Yeah, yeah.
And there's also a great
Lotus.
Addiction Chili, I think it is, over on La Cienega. Has some good.
Yep, and Lotus Vegan.
Yeah.
Right around here.
Yeah,
Right around,
some good stuff out there. Just mentioning that for people who are vegan or vegetarian.
Or want to try it. I mean, a lot of people will find you do it for lunch and you have more energy during the day.
And so, for me, my introduction kind of was the chain of Native Foods. It's a chain, but they have some really good stuff in there, and that's what kind of it tastes good. Like, it's not just this, you're eating some leaves and a root vegetable, and then you're done.
I was just in Philly, and I went to this place called Veg, and it's it's a gourmet vegan place.
Wow.
And it was unbelievable.
Wow, okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to go Philly. Michael's in Bethlehem, but that's near, and I have a friend in Media, but that's all near.
Yeah, Media, I know Media.
Yeah,
I'm right next door to Media in Springfield.
Okay, I know that. I know that area a little bit, so I can actually go to Veg.
Yeah.
Try it out. Okay, so you also do scores for many different things.
Yes.
So I want to ask you, so does the inspiration really come from each project you get? Because I was thinking, anybody can create music. I mean, because we're not talking lyrics, we're talking just music, we're talking melodies and music. So is each project, that's your inspiration when it comes to you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. The project dictates,
Okay.
you know, in film scoring. Like if I'm writing a song for TV, then this, you know, I'll read the script,
Okay,
or I'll
that's
see,
okay.
or I will see the, you know, you go to a spotting session first.
Okay, okay.
So the director, if it's a feature, or the showrunner if it's TV,
Okay.
or whoever is running whoever's running the show, basically.
Okay.
And there's usually a group, maybe if it's Disney, it might be a couple executives in there.
Okay.
And they tell you what they're thinking, what they're feeling.
Okay.
There could be a temp score in there,
Okay. Okay.
temp music.
Yes,
A
yeah.
lot of times the director will ask you, like on this upcoming movie I'm doing now called Jacob Marley,
Okay.
the director asked me, do you want a temp score in there? I said, absolutely not. I want to create it with you.
Oh.
And he was like, okay.
Okay. So, because the temp score meaning that it's they put something temporary in there, some music in there.
Yeah.
So it doesn't
And they
mean
fall in
it's-
love with it. And then you have
do
to
they
write
really?
some, yeah.
Oh, that's so
then
funny.
you have to write something that sounds like that. And you're like, ugh. But sometimes they don't. Sometimes
Okay.
they just ask you. And sometimes they temp it with your music.
Wow.
So a lot of times I have done a lot of films, done a lot of TV, and I'll send it over to the music editor and they'll just throw in my music. So
What is one show when you heard it, you were like, yes, it just sounded like, or one of your first shows just sounded like this is perfect, and I'm seeing it, it really works. Do you remember like
my first
or any of the first couple of shows or anything you did or film scores?
I would say
You've done so many, so
I've done a lot.
you've done a lot. or just one that stands out. Whether it's one for just one that stands out.
One that stands out is Yair Landau did a short that was fantastic because it was about a rock guitar falling in love with a violin. The rock guitar was Steve Vai,
Ooh, okay.
and the violinist was Anne-Marie Calhoun, and there was no dialogue.
Okay.
And so I had to compose the dialogue, and so the violin had to be flirty.
Okay.
And the rock and roller, you know. So
Yeah.
it was called live music, and I had to create all the basically dialogue using music. So that was
amazing.
That was really cool, and
How challenging was that?
it was great. That was one where Yair and his producing partner Jackie came over to my house every week.
Okay.
It was that intense because, you know, it's hard to, you know, he would give me notes like, make the violin flirtier.
Make it sexier. Make it this. And like,
Seriously.
I'm sure.
And there was no dialogue. It was just, and you had to tell the story straight through music.
How do you make a violin? How do you make a violin sexier? Kind of just like, yeah, kind of like I was thinking I was gonna make it sexier. Like next time, like how do you make it sexier? Yes.
You just use your imagination.
Yeah. I'm thinking violin. Well, I guess you can. Well, violins are kind of romantic. They can be sad. I mean, I guess you could make it kind of.
I just worked and worked and worked until we got it, and that was one of the most challenging film scores.
sure.
But it was fabulous. Worked out great.
We're gonna show a piece of one of the things she's done for Burger Creep, what's called some animated thing, and we're gonna talk about a little bit. We're gonna look at that. I'll ask you about this. So,
Okay,
go ahead.
great. Thanks.
I saw this. I was like,
Where the hell is that woman?
That woman is my mom, and she'll be here any minute.
If I miss Matlock tonight, I'm gonna kill somebody!
Yo, yo, yo! Look who I found taking pictures of us from his 1972 unregistered white panel van.
Sweet Jesus!
like that.
It's the Duke of Snarky Burger. Hi, nice to meet you. I'm Gus.
I know just what you're thinking. Amazing, perfect, but that's not all.
oh, that guitar. I love it.
Whoa, whoa, whoa! I'm not getting into that thing with a stranger. He's not a stranger. He's a celebrity. Seriously, you guys, I'm not getting in there. Okay, stay here all
music,
alone
yeah.
with Chupacabra, Gremlins, Chuckies, Hillary Clinton. You don't know what's out there.
So I just want to show a piece because you do these musical pieces that are very interesting.
Yeah.
You
That's me
come to
whistling.
much?
Is she whistling?
Chief, can you pop on some
I can't
Jay-Z
whistle.
back here?
That's traditional
Not
Jay-Z.
bad. If this thing makes drinks, I can live in here.
Oh, it's so funny. Thank you, Zach. That's so funny. That is like you actually pick the moods. You do. Now that you said the Jaws thing is stuck with me now, you've kind of picked each part.
Right. Right. So
So
you pick which part you want, and what I wanted to go for the creepy guy with the unmarked van,
the music totally.
but he's a celebrity,
Yes.
so that's where we get our value systems.
But your music was perfect for it. No, the different, like this weird. The music that came out was so funny. It made you laugh.
So I used the whistling because it's so intimate, and this guy's taking these kids in his unmarked van,
yes.
and they're really excited because he's a celebrity. So it's got to be creepy.
Yes.
In that sort of, just like, this is all wrong.
And kind of kid-like. It's kind of kid-like. The music's
Yeah.
bouncy. The beginning music was
Exactly.
bouncy.
And then, you got to put the rap in there, and you got to put like all
Yes.
the guitar stings and things like that. And there's one voice of reason in there, one character that has reason. So you would use like more orchestra strings and things for that voice of reason, and you use the guitar for the kids just going out of control.
Right.
'Cause it's a bunch of out of control
Oh,
kids.
I love the guitar. That was very 80s to me. I love that.
Yeah, exactly. We totally did an 80s thing. So
Walk me through. Okay, you get a project. So you got a TV show. They want you to do 2 or 3 songs.
Oh.
How do you start? Do you go home and start? How do you start writing the actual music?
Well, if I'm doing a score, they send me basically
The scenes?
cut, the scenes, and I know it's going to be cut. It's going to
Okay.
because I'm in post-production. So in TV, everything runs super fast.
Okay.
They say we needed it yesterday.
Oh wow!
So it's super, super fast. So in features, I have a little more time. So for Jacob Marley, I'll be working with Russ Francis, and we'll do the songs
Okay.
because it's a musical.
Oh okay. Okay.
So we'll do the songs this year, and then next year I'll get to score it.
Oh okay.
So
Okay.
songs will come first in an animated musical, so they can animate to them, and then they'll do the score. I'll do the score to picture later.
Oh, okay.
So,
Wow.
and for TV, you always spot it and get the feedback.
Okay.
Where they want the music, how much they want the music.
okay.
So there's a lot of interaction that goes on before you start scoring.
Okay.
And then, if you work with the director or somebody before, you see what they like. But if it's the first time, what I do is I send over a lot of stuff to see, is this the right direction? Is this the right direction? Is this the right direction? Because you really don't know
Yeah.
what they like.
Yeah.
It's like, and if you're working for a bunch of people, they couldn't
Yeah.
order the same pizza, so it's
No,
hard to
right,
please
right,
everyone. So
right.
you try and get as
Yeah.
many notes as you can, and write as fast and as well as you can for TV.
How do you? Okay, so my question is, how do you keep your mind fresh so that new ideas just come to you?
You know what? I worked with Danny Elfman. He used to
Oh, Danny.
say,
That's a big one, big time score.
yeah, he's fantastic. And he used to say, you just put your antenna up
How funny.
and wait for the signal.
Wow. Now, Danny Elfman's an interesting case, folks. You guys don't know who he was. I grew up listening to him in Oingo Boingo. He was the lead in Oingo Boingo, doing a lot of music in the 80s. And then he went on to all these amazing scores, including, I know, one of the Batmans. And he's done a million different things.
Yeah.
And he's an incredible composer. So that's funny. So the antenna goes up for you, and you're like, okay, I can tune in
Yeah.
to the higher above, the divine comes
Yeah, it's
in.
just
And
divine comes in, music comes out, and then if I'm lucky to have an orchestra, the music comes in again.
yeah, right. Now, so usually these productions, do you go out and find the orchestra pieces or people you're going to work with, or do they usually have them? Or
I have what's called contractors.
Okay.
And they find the orchestra for me, and they know I like it packed with females.
Oh,
So
we didn't
I like-
end your, let's talk about that a little bit. Okay, yes.
My orchestra's packed with females, as
Okay.
many females as we can get,
Okay.
because I
Girl
like to
power.
see. I like to see. There's a lot of great. I want to not be a hypocrite, and I want to hire a lot of females.
That's very cool. Okay.
Yeah. So directors, producers love it.
Yeah. I saw a thing the other day. It was on CNN. It was on about the 80s. They're doing a mini-series that Tom Hanks is producing. And they talked to Ann Wilson of Heart. You know, they're songwriters and as well as
phenomenal.
Yes, but they said it was really hard for people to look at them seriously because they were women. And then the Bangles, we talked to Susanna Hoffs, who another great band who wrote their own music. It was like, oh, they're good for chicks, or they never understood why their gender had anything to do with the way they play an instrument.
Right.
Like, so isn't that a weird thing? Like, well, I mean, it's like you're a human with arms and hands and whatever else you use to play instruments. Why would it matter if you're a man or a woman?
Yeah.
How you play?
Right.
It's kind of a weird thing. So, I mean, have you ever had any problems with people because you're a woman at all?
I've been fired on the spot. I had a agent put a demo together, and I wrote some music for her, and he put my name as M. Cavallari.
Oh, wow.
Because there was a lot of sexism, and so when I came into the room to spot, the director said, "Casting's upstairs for the show," and I said, "Oh, I'm Megan Cavallari. I'm your composer," and he just said, "Oh, a woman can't write this score because it's action." And so on my bucket list,
Yes, it's an action film.
is I'd like to do a Mission Impossible movie with all female players.
Oh.
Yeah, because that would be a Mission Impossible.
And with you, I can see it happen. Just because you push your way through, I can see it happen.
So
That's pretty funny. That's interesting.
Yeah, I was just like, what?
Why can't a woman write an action film?
Yeah.
Like, that makes.
Well, I know they can, and there's
there's
plenty of women who write great music out there.
Right.
So hopefully the tides will change. And you know what? I don't worry about that.
Yeah.
Because I've been working for so long.
You're busy.
I'm busy.
Yeah, you're busy.
And
I'm grateful for it.
I'm
Obviously.
grateful. I'm so grateful. And you know what? There's so much talent out here.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful every day that I get to do what I love.
Yeah.
So I don't think of it as a man or woman thing. I just think of it as like finding your people and doing what you love.
I like that.
You know, there's people, you find your people, you work for them. And there's other people who aren't your people.
That's true.
Or maybe you're not
That's
right
true.
for the job, but
That's
maybe
true.
the next job you're right for. So you just say like Linda Opes said, next, next.
Yeah.
You don't get this one, you get the next one. So that's how I just, live my life. I live my life like that. And I think that I've been really fortunate, and I don't dwell on the fact that I'm a female. I'm just a composer who writes music, and I have been really lucky and have unbelievable directors and producers and showrunners who just believe in my work and hire me. So
Well, it's funny that you say that because I interview a lot of actors and stuff, and it is true, especially in Hollywood, we like to work with people we like to work with.
yeah, it's the best.
It's one of those things. So you will be like, okay, you're coming back for my next film, right? Or into my next TV series, you're going to be a part of it, right? I mean, people do band together. If they like you and know you can deliver, they'll hold on to you, won't they?
And they tell their friends about you, and their friends see the film.
Yes.
And they're like, who did that music? So I get people who just wait till the end of the film
To see the credits.
and they see the credits, and they just
Wow.
go out and they said, I saw your score, or they go to my website. So I have lots of fans who go to my website all the time and send me, letters. And
Tell them your website.
my website is Megan Cavallari, CAVALLARI.com.
So go
And
there.
you can also find me on Twitter, which is Megan Cava or Meg Cava.
Meg Cava.
Meg Cava is my
Yeah.
Twitter.
So you can find her on those. So we can talk to her more about stuff. But I think it's just so I think it's so because it should not matter. Gender should not even matter. Gender, color, this should not matter. If you could do a good job, you just do a good job.
You do a good job.
But we're grateful for what we get, right? At the same time. too.
Absolutely, I'm so grateful, and I have awesome agents. Sarah's great at Kraft Engel, and I have just so many good people on my line. Like I said.
You're lying. I like that. See, you sound like me. My thing's all about the village. I'm all about the village. My fans know. I'm like, everybody's part. Now you're part of my village. Everybody's part of the
Thank you.
village. Everybody's part of the village.
You're part of my line.
And part of your line. I like that. See, I like that. And that's where we're gonna end. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
This is so
having
great.
me.
This is so great. I
awesome.
love it. So you can follow her, like you said, at the place we just said there. You can also follow this. Oh, goodness. Follow this on iTunes and YouTube under AfterBuzz TV under the Concert Experience. You can follow me at James Lott Jr. on all the interwebs, all over the place. Yeah, I said interwebs. And you can follow all our shows. We have some great stuff coming up. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
So glad.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.